Receive quantum abundance. You ready? You guys ready for the life hack of a lifetime? No, I don't know. I just want to hang out with you guys and make music, make love. Not that kind of love. How are you guys feeling about the presidential elections? How are you feeling about life? How are you feeling about the state of the world? Are you upset that Trump won? Are you upset that Trump lost? Are you upset? Are you upset that you're not upset? Are you upset that none of it makes sense anymore? Nice to see everybody. My name's Keith. Welcome to my channel, where we talk about abundance, we talk about quantum entanglement, we talk about popcorn, plants, we talk about love, loss, we talk about parasites, both immaterial parasites and physical parasites. I have a hypothesis that in order for something to influence the physical world, it has to have a physical vehicle, and their role on the etheric directly determines their role in the physical, sort of on some as above, so below, you know what I mean? And that parasites, like worms, for example, parasites are demons from other realms. Is this zoomed in? It is, huh? And that demons are parasites from other realms. But in order for them to influence the physical world, they have to take physical bodies. And so they exist as more of like a culmination of parasites, kind of like Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies. The flies will move in unison, but it's not one fly that's Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies. It's all the flies, like a conglomeration. It's a murder of flies. What's a whole bunch of flies called? A swarm? I feel like it should be a murder of flies, a gang of flies. Anyway, sort of like that. So if you're infested with parasites, for example, Azam, can you please define quantum abundance? Sorry, I am new. Yes, quantum abundance. Quantum abundance is when a spiritual practitioner will look towards the quantum field for physical manipulation over, the external realm. For example, they'll look at stuff like that slit theorem, where quantum physics explains things as both existing and not existing depending upon how you're looking at them, or depending upon whether or not you're looking at them. So if you're looking at something, it acts as a particle. In other words, attention materializes the waveform into a particle form. But when you look away, it goes from particle form to wave, meaning when there's no focus on something, it exists as infinite potential. And when you are focused on something, when your awareness is on something, it collapses. It'll collapse the waveform. It'll collapse the potential into an actual thing. I mean, a practical example. Exactly. It's like the observer effect. So the practical example would be like, or something that you can sink your teeth into would be like, But say I'm making a bunch of noise. Just making a whole bunch of noise, right? Just different frequencies. This frequency, A above middle C, is 440 hertz. So the hertz of this note is 440. 440 hertz. 440 oscillations in 1 second. But just a whole bunch of random ones, right? The observer effect says that when you focus on something, infinite potential becomes a defined thing. So instead of infinite keys, we now have now I'm focused on one thing, which is the C scale. Of all the infinite amount of notes I can play, I am now focused on one scale, which is the C scale, which is only the white notes that you see on the piano. I've collapsed pure potential into physical, and that's a very basic. It's something that you can wrap your head around, because when we learn laws, when we learn natural law, it's not so much as giving you a door that you open and you get life's blessings. It's more of a tool belt that you wear around your waist that allows you to build your own door to any dimension as far as the eye can see. You know what I mean? Any dimension as far as the eye can see. Does that make sense? So I when you start to learn these things, you go, oh, what I'm getting at is there's infinite potential, because we live in an infinite universe of ways that things can come about. Does that make sense? Azam 987654321. Thanks. Are the candles you make still available for purchase on Etsy, by the way? Oh my goodness. They might be. I might be getting close to being kicked off Etsy, if I'm being completely honest. I haven't been doing too well. They might be. I have them for sale if you want to buy. If where you getting us want to buy some candles, I'll sell you some candles. Yeah, I still make them. I'm making more for myself now. I was getting Etsy's exploded, and people are making candles for, or they're selling candles for dirt cheap almost. And I'm not a candle. I don't have a candle factory to where it's feasible for me to only make $2 per candle and still want to do it. And I don't intend on building a candle factory anytime soon, so I haven't really bothered with it. But if you want to buy candles, oh my god, for sure, definitely. I'll sell you some candles, the beeswax ones. Thanks. Oh, I already read that comment. Asm, I haven't seen your name in a while because it's not familiar. How long have you been following the channel? How are you doing? Are you okay from the elections? I know everyone's in turmoil at the moment. At the moment, on both sides. Well, maybe not both sides. Maybe in both sides if you know where to look. But Any other questions about quantum abundance in the lens of Hermeticism, alchemy, maybe Gnosticism? I'm not necessarily a Gnostic by definition, though there really isn't a definition of Gnostic that everyone can agree on, so it's not like it really matters. Oh, they all have, yeah. And the plus side is the candles that I have now have been sitting around for so long that the wax is cured. So when you make beeswax candles, they harden over time. I mean, it only takes a couple weeks to cure, but I was usually making them as I sold them, so I didn't really have them sitting around for too long. So the ones that I have now have been sitting around for maybe even months. So they've done been curing for a while is what I'm getting at. Have you explored the Golden Dawn system? I haven't. Have you? Can you give me the synopsis of the Golden Dawn? Or should I ask ChatGPT to hit it up for me real quick? Because I'm kind of done. You ever heard that term? Here's where I'm at in my spiritual journey right now. I'm not trying to read anything else to learn, to fill in like gaps or to expand my knowledge in a scientific, in a student setting. What I'm going for now is just, dare I say, entertainment, dare I say, pleasure. And Golden Dawn doesn't sound like something any of those other schools of study don't necessarily call to me at the moment, because you ever heard that term, when you get the message, hang up the phone? It's like, when you get the message, hang up the phone. I feel I've gotten the message. At least at this point in my life, I know I've gotten the message. I can only learn so much to better my life. And what I've already learned is enough to fill the rest of this life for sure with practices, with meditations, with literature and material and work. I have enough work that from what I've already learned to fill my life. So I don't necessarily feel called to read something like Golden Dawn, or to study something like the Golden Dawn, or any of the other, the something of the rose, or there's a bunch of them. You know, there's a bunch of them. Not that you shouldn't. Not that you shouldn't. I mean, if that's where you're at, baby, hit it. You know, everyone should do what they do. But yes, ChatGPT. I will too. I'll open ChatGPT right now and check it out. I've been using ChatGPT like a. You guys want to do some ChatGPT stuff? I can type in ChatGPT. Ask me some questions about. What do you want me to ask? Ask some Q&A. Do you want ChatGPT to write some Q&A for us? Say, hey, I'm playing the piano on a YouTube live. Give me some Q&As that the chat room can ask, that I can answer while playing moody, melancholic piano. Should I? It's endless work for sure. It is endless. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, do I get chemistry 108 when I'm still working on chemistry 101 through 106? It's like, not to say that the order of the Hermetic Dawn or whatever is 8. You know, who knows what order you should take them. And point is, I'm still working on a lot of stuff, man. I can only digest so much. I was curious, as you mentioned Hermeticism, and they have some material. Yeah, so the Hermeticism is also one of those phrases that there's a textbook definition, like if you went to university and studied ancient culture and religion and learned Hermeticism through that facet. And then there's some people who will say the Kabbalion isn't Hermetic at all, even though it contains Hermetic principles. And I was like, oh my God, okay, well, I was doing some deep diving on Hermeticism, and there really is no definition for Hermeticism. So it's like I said, everyone's kung fu is better than everyone else's Shaolin in the spiritual world, in all worlds, you know. What I mean by that is like, your kung fu is no match for my Shaolin, you know, and it's not necessarily one's better than the other. It's how well do you use your practice? Do you make it work for you or not? Um, with that being said, studying the Hermetic principles, I feel like I almost don't even need it. Like I don't need to go. I don't need anything else because I've read dozens of well-traditioned texts in the occult, esoteric, hermetic, gnostic, alchemical world, to where I'm like, oh, I've read this before, under a different lens, under a different name, sure, but I've read this before. I know this. Unless it's like specific rituals and spells where they say something like, oh, you're gonna need the leg of a toad, a dead man's eyeball, and a drop of virgin armpit hair or something. You know, if it's something like that, then it's like, okay, hit me with it. But when it comes to philosophical musings, symbolic musings, it's like how many different ways can you talk about the law of attraction is what it comes down to. So more or less. Ask ChatGPT about the candle market on Etsy, Cobra Kai style. Oh my god. What do you want me to ask it specifically? You know how ChatGPT is. Should I say, hey, how do I excel in the candle market on Etsy? I know what it's going to say. It's going to say, have competitive prices, find a niche that no one else is using, market appropriately, find your target audience. We need better questions. But I've been using ChatGPT a lot, and I've learned that you're going to get pretty in depth with the questions of ChatGPT. Can we talk about the esoteric nature of ChatGPT? I feel I have no guilt using ChatGPT. Some people say like, oh, it's AI, it's synthetic, it's robotic, like it doesn't, or not that it doesn't count, but it's like the enemy. From what I've studied about ChatGPT, it's like it's like having access to the Akashic records, uh, more or less. The Akashic records are supposed to be imperfect. ChatGPT does have some flaws, but it's tied to the global human consciousness. So when I ask ChatGPT, what do I do about my depression? It's diving into the human psyche as far as what the human psyche has put out in the internet to deal with depression. You know what I mean? So you're not asking, the AI is pulling from human consciousness to give you the answer. Is how, from what I've gathered, what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is ChatGPT able to talk from the perspective of man of letters and then you can have a conversation with it? I do that all the time. I literally bounce ideas off of ChatGPT and I'll say, I need to make sure you're not agreeing with me for the sake of agreeing. I want you to challenge my notions, etc. I think my family's here. Maybe that's my neighbors. I hear trash cans being pulled in. Oh my! I have better conversations with ChatGPT than most humans, if we're being completely honest. I'll tell it to challenge my ideas. I'll tell it to poke holes in my ideas. It's pretty amazing. So we can talk from the perspective man of letters, and then you can have a well, you could if you. I don't know if you're telling me to do it or asking me if it's capable of doing it, but. Spirit Gene. Oh, hello, Gene. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Gene. How are you doing? Spiritual open spoken word night vibe. Spiritual open spoken. Oh, it is like a spoken word. Oh, what do you want? You guys want like a melancholic, like a cathartic vibe, like we've been doing? You want something more chipper? You want something like a waltz? You do like message retracted. No, what did you write? What was your message? ASM 987654321. Was it involving quantum entanglement? This is the was it the quantum field? Pure potential prior to being focused and actualized. For example, we could do D flat major to create something from the everything. Potential collapsed into the particle is the goal of the alchemist, taking infinite frequencies, taking chaos and noise and making music. Amélie. I love that movie. I do. We do a couple of. I love that movie. Jan Tiersen, that artist. Oh my goodness, Jan Tiersen. What is it called? Le Valse d'Amélie. And correct me if I'm saying this wrong, because I feel like the American, the American French accent is awful. Comme-t-il d'un autre été l'après-midi. That might be one of my favorite composers. Might be. Amélie Poulain. I need to watch that movie again. It's been such a long time since I've seen that movie. A little staccato. You want a little staccato? All right. What would work in a little staccato? I guess everything would work in a little staccato. How's everyone doing? How's everyone enjoying? Jean, vous êtes de France, n'est-ce pas? Are you guys going crazy over the Trump election? Is that a thing? Yeah, Jan Tiersen, Yann, Jan Tiersen. Might have the spelling wrong. For how long have you been playing piano? A long time. A long time. I'm a little rusty. Sorry. That's a really hard song to play. I haven't practiced it. If I had a couple days to refresh and anywho, I've been playing piano for a long time. A really long time. Jan Tiersen. But yeah. Gina, are you from? Did I already ask this? You're from France, right? You're the French sister, if I recall correctly. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. I've been out of touch from the YouTube channel lately. Haven't been doing too much quantum mechanics. I've been doing a lot of quantum mechanics in the real world. Not so many quantum mechanics in the digital realm. Go figure. Scared me. I was like, there's something in my kitchen right now. What the hell is that? Well, I personally don't give flying fruit baskets about it. Been battling a form of schmovid for 2 weeks and a half now, getting a little irritated. Trying to stay in the present moment as much as I can. I feel you. But it's not always easy, and it's begging to be long now. Beginning or begging? I hope you're doing all right, man. I do. I hope you're doing all right, because some of my friends are not feeling well, are catching what they're calling long schmovid. And I don't know what it is. And you can't even talk about what it is or what it might be or what it might not be, because you'll get in trouble for talking. Or maybe still, I don't know if you will or not. Anywho, I hope you feel better. I hope you're getting... I hope you're getting all the care that you need. You know what I've been doing a lot lately? I've been slamming the detox game hard. I've been slamming the detox game hard, specifically parasite detox. And what I will say is that there's a lot of overlap with parasite detox and other things. So maybe it might be privy of you to check that out. Maybe it might help, maybe it might not. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. I don't know anything. I'm an idiot, don't listen to me. I'm just a dude playing the piano. I'm just a dude playing the piano, drinking green black walnut husk tinctures to get rid of parasites in the gut. Trying to live my life, trying to enjoy Christmas and shit, you know what I mean? Trying to heal the world. Trying to heal the world one gut cleanse at a time. Green walnut, green hold, black walnut shells, clove oil, and mugwort, specifically artemisinin. Not a doctor. This is not medical advice. However, and some activated charcoal so that you can bind to and expel all the toxins as they come out of your body, and you'll be chilling. Because while the path to righteousness is a steep one, and yes, choosing the lesser of two evils might help stem the bleeding in the short run. The truth is, in the long run, what we do is we lower the bar so low, the standard so low, we end up in a world where the smallest obstacle will cast the lowest hanging fruit will cast the longest shadow. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? It means those that would attempt to lead us no longer aim for righteousness, but the least amount of horror to be in charge. That's where we're at. If I may speak freely. If I may speak freely, the word is, do not choose the lesser of two evils. The road to righteousness is steep and it's not easy. But the more we choose the lesser of two evils, the worse the world gets. And it may be small, tiny, incremental, but just like a sailor. Even the slightest degree of error will put you hundreds, if not thousands of miles off course at the end of your journey. And that's where we're at. Our world is at this crossroad where we say, I'm going to choose the lesser of two evil. Because what other option do I have? Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic, they say. Well, realistically, our world sucks. And the reason why none of our leaders are righteous leaders is because none of them have to be to get your support. Why are you going to choose the more difficult road of righteousness? Why are you going to choose the steeper road to goodness when you can take the easy way out? You don't have to be great. You just have to be not as bad as the next guy. Anyway, how's everyone doing out there? Am I speaking to an empty room? Let me know that you're alive. Take your shoes off, stay a while. Anywho, make sure everyone's drinking water. Remember to breathe. Breathe deeply from your diaphragm. Minimize stress, minimize worry, simplify your life. Do not add unnecessary baggage. Add the baggage that's going to make you a better person. Don't add anything else. Don't add anything else. Goodbye. I'll see you later.